Minties, the Uncanny Omar here from Near Mint Condition. Near Mint. Near Mint. It's the name of my channel. And
What's
with
the
me,
name?
Near Mint. Shut up. And with me is this guy right here. This guy that needs no introduction. But of course he does. He does need an introduction.
Good.
This is Jess, the Omni Dog. Brag. I hope everybody's having a good Tuesday. Thank you for joining me instead of going to the Apple what are they doing? I guess they're unveiling the new iPhone, which is what they usually do around this time. So thank you for joining us instead of Apple.
No one needs a new iPhone. We need to know what the new reprint is.
This is true. This is true. That's why I'm doing this.
I've already
So,
got a new iPhone. I don't need to know what the new reprint is. I mean, I do need to know what the
you
new
do?
reprint
You
is.
do. Everybody does.
Everybody needs to know what it is. I don't need a new iPhone. I need to know what the new reprint is. That's what I'm excited about.
You're excited about that? I am excited too. So this, you and I think, did the fourth quarter or the first quarter of 2020 solicitations together. And some of these we've seen in there, but some of these we are seeing for the first time, and we're getting the exact price on some of these. And a lot of these, well, you all will see here in a second. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. Rick, thank you for skipping a work meeting for watching this. That is dedication.
Yeah, Rick. Now, how will they know when I'm looking at you? Because I'm looking at you now, and I'm looking in this direction. So I guess to look at you, I have to look over here
Why do you have to look at me?
to see what you're saying.
What do you mean?
Because of this dumb mirroring effect, I have it. Like now, it looks like I'm looking at you, but I can't even see you.
Oh,
This
okay.
weird mirroring effect on this thing. I'll just look at myself.
Okay. Just look at yourself like you always do. So, yeah, we're going to look at the advanced December solicitations for graphic novels, trade paperbacks, omnis, Marvel Masterworks, and Epic Collections. So, very excited to share this with everybody. Jess, I love the Hawaiian shirt you're sporting.
Thank you.
Very
It's
cool.
still hot up here, so I'm still wearing Hawaiian shirts.
It is hot here. I went for a jog earlier, and it is freaking hot out there. So, welcome everybody, especially if you're from out of the country, because I know you all don't get a chance to join us live a lot of the time. As I go through this list, as I go through these images, please let me know when you all want to look at something a little longer. Leave it in the comment. I've got my buddy Omni Dog, the man right there. He's going to keep an eye on the chat. Super chat is turned on.
Oh, I am? I'm going to keep an eye on the chat?
Why do you think I'm going to ask you to join me?
Hang on, I better go get the link to
What
the chat.
the hell? What are you going to add to this? I can do this myself. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That was a joke. I went too far.
I thought it was because I was your friend and you thought I could add something interesting to the chat. Okay, fine. Just a sec. Let me bring it back up.
All right, bring it back up. In case anybody wants me to go back and look at something, or they're asking a question about a specific book. Okay.
All right. Hang on.
All right. Because I'm going to be sharing my screen. So while Jess does that, and while I have you all in here, I'll mention this again but this specific segment is brought to you by cheapgraphicnovels.com. And cheapgraphicnovels.com having a huge Marvel sale. They're offering up to 80% off of 250 Marvel Omnibus editions, Marvel Masterworks, deluxe hardcovers, and a lot more. The sale ends this Sunday, September 15th. I need to jump on those Doctor Stranges, so I need to set a reminder on my phone. Because, yes, the Doctor Strange Omnis are 55% off of the retail price. The Avengers box set, which retails for $200, is off 50% off, so it's $249. So you can find the sale by clicking on the banner on Cheap Graphic Novels homepage, or you can click on the description below. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discounts, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. And tell them Near Mint Condition sent you their way. And please buy that cable and X-Force Omnibus so they can keep making more. That's also 50% off. All right. Now, Jess, are you ready with the chat and everything?
I have it up, and the first thing I have is insults from ETL, which makes me feel good.
Is it as good as this one right here? Omar has no friends, only enemies.
Not true.
I have two people that like me, my mother and my oldest daughter. So that is good enough for me. Hello from Canada. Hello from Kentucky, which is part of America.
So
Sort
it's
of.
Virginia's, kinda.
I don't think the rest of America really acknowledges that though. Yeah, we were not on the show last night because the guys ended up reviewing the books and we were not needed. And I think Jess wasn't feeling good.
I was feeling awful last night, but I feel much better now.
Good. All right. Now, since people are joining us, let's get this show started. Don't show these tips again. Share screen. Jess, let me know when you can see everything, every part of my screen.
Okay.
Actually, let me do something really quick. Bam. There we go. And
All I see is you.
that's all you need to see, baby. That's all
I
you
don't
need to
think
see.
so.
Share. And now I need to go to here. Let me know when you can see this.
I can see that. Did you want to see us and that?
Is it us and that or just that?
It's us and that.
I don't want to see us and that. I hate the settings on this thing. All right, give me 1 second. Let me see if I can fix that.
It's easy to fix. You just hit the little box. The little box right above where the middle, see the middle box? Yeah, hit the yeah.
Ah, look at that. Tips from Just Bragg. Thanks,
There you
man.
go.
All right. So let's kick this off. Sorry about that, fellas. All right. And ladies. So we have Wolverine Omnibus Volume 1. Now, the big news with this, and some of you all may have guessed from the thumbnail that I created, is that we're going to have both the direct market version and the variant edition available. So that's a big deal because I think even when I did a retro view of my Wolverine Omnibus and some people were complaining, oh, I want the Steve McNiven cover. Now, that could be because that's the cover that's not available when they do reprints, but Marvel is reprinting both of them.
Wow.
So the direct market cover, which would be available at places like cheapgraphicnovels.com or comic book stores, and of course the new printing variant cover, the Frank Miller cover. But not only that. All right. So here comes the big one. Here comes the big book that a lot of people have been asking me about.
You're going to lead with it?
I can't help the way that these solicitations are made. It's literally the second omnibus.
Wait, let me ask you a question.
Oh, man.
If you didn't have Wolverine already, which cover would you get?
Well, you know, my answer to that is always the
Steve
cover.
McNiven cover?
Yeah, because I get the cover to the first issue within the book. But there are some purists out there that
True.
collect Omnis with, you know, just that. Oh, hold on 1 second. Let me hit F11. There we go. That's better.
Well, now they can see it.
Oh, damn it. All right, everybody.
There it is.
So all the people that have been asking me,
Woohoo!
Silver Surfer Omnibus Volume 1 is getting reprinted.
That is awesome.
So this collects the Silver Surfer stuff from 1968, 1 through 7. And then Fantastic Four, just a bunch of stuff. It's reprinted. Not only that, but both covers are being reprinted. The variant edition, which is the classic cover here by John Buscema, and the Ezad Ribic cover. Both are coming back into print.
I want the original.
Well, you're a purist. I'm going to take the Ezad Ribic cover. So that is only available at direct marketplaces, the Ezad Ribic cover. So hit that F5 button.
I don't have an F button.
You're an idiot. Why did I have you co-host? Because I ran out of co-hosts to ask.
Yeah,
Just kidding.
I'm Maddie's batter up. I'm her backstop.
Now, don't get upset at me. I'm just the middleman. I don't work for Marvel. So this is the one that they're going to reprint, and they obviously cannot reprint all 100 Omnis that are out of print. So if you're waiting on a specific one, like I tell everybody else, be patient. I'm sure it will be back. Just like people that have been waiting for this for a long time. So Silver Surfer is coming back.
That is awesome.
We knew about this, but we didn't know that it was getting a direct market cover. So even Astonishing X-Men Omnibus, which never had a variant cover, is getting a direct market printing only.
Wow.
So you're getting, you know, the classic one that This is the one that that's been out of print for years, and then you're getting a new printing right here.
That's cool looking.
Yeah, I want to say that's from issue. What issue is that? But anyway, they're both done by John Cassidy, and this one's $100. The original retail price was 75, but this is the only one that's gone up that I've seen go up to $100. So coming back in April. The Submariner, this is the post-war years. So the video that I did was the pre-war years, the stuff, and then this is the post-war years. So this is still part of the Golden Age, Submariner by Bill Everett. This continues those stories from the first omnibus. And again, we'll have two covers, the direct market cover right here, and then the variant cover available everywhere else. And we don't have both covers on this, but there are going to be two covers for Black Widow Omnibus. I mean, that's almost given. So we have a variant by George Perez, this one here, but we don't have what the direct market one looks like yet, and that's also drawn by George Perez. Captain America by Coates, Volume 1, collecting the first 12 issues, $34.99. Have you read any of this run, Jess?
I have not read any of it.
Okay. I didn't
It's
think
a cool
you did.
cover, though.
Yeah, Alex Ross, man. You got to love that dude's stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the one that I talked about, I think last month, the one that I broke the news on was Sensational She-Hulk. Now, this collects the John Byrne stuff. So this is Sensational She-Hulk 1 through 8, 31 through 46, 48 through 50, and then material from Marvel Comics Presents 18. Oh, and the Marvel graphic novel 18. So 125, again, two covers. You have the classic John Byrne cover from issue 1, and then the direct market cover. So I wonder what the direct market cover is going to be if they went with this one for the standard hardcover. So if you're wondering why it skips a lot and if it matters, I will tell you straight up right now, reading this as a kid, John Byrne left in issue 8. And when he came back in issue 31, he didn't give a crap what happened between issues 9 through 30. He did his own stuff like he never left. So you don't need to read those books in between. I hope they collect them sometime. But John Byrne didn't care. He just kept writing. And that's a lot of omnis, man. That is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 omnis.
That Coates is an omni?
No.
Oh, it's just a hardcover. Okay.
Just a hardcover. So that's 6 omnibuses to pre-order. Keep in mind they come out in different months, like March, April, but still, you can pre-order them earlier. And now we move on to another hardcover. This is the Amazing Spider-Man Full Circle. This collects the... okay, this is just the one-shots. Starting, then it is oversized hardcover, $29.99. Man, that's got a lot of good team on there. This is part of the Marvel Select line, which you've seen on my channel. For Runaways, they decided to go with Pride and Joy, which is the first 6 issues, and is the obvious choice to go for Runaways collection. Then we have the Marvel Monograph book, The Art of Declan Shalvey. This is a gallery edition, and the gallery editions are a bigger trim size. They're the size of the X-Men Grand Design books or that Silver Surfer Parable book. This is $39.99. It is going to be oversized hardcover, but it's Love and War Gallery Edition. And this is absolutely beautiful if you've never seen this book. This is the Bill Sienkiewicz book. Moving on to Marvel Masterworks, Volume 20. My goodness, 20 volumes. Again, they always have a direct market cover of these, collecting Avengers 203 to 216, number 10, Annual 10, which is the first appearance of our favorite Southern Belle, Rogue, and Marvel Super Action 35 through 37 material from that. All right, so what are we getting here? Absolute Carnage, trade paperback, 1 through 5. That story has been freaking awesome. And then we also have Scream Absolute Carnage. Part of this is Separation Anxiety and Scream 1, 2, and 3. Then we have Miles Morales and They also collected Weapon Plus in there. And Lethal Protectors. And Absolute Carnage versus Deadpool.
Oh, I want to get that just for Deadpool.
And are you a fan of Deadpool? Would have never guessed.
Even the Daniel Way stuff, sure.
God bless your soul. Absolute Carnage, Immortal Hulk, and Other Tales. Okay, so this collects all the other one-shots. I'm hoping, and here's me, like I said, I don't speak for Marvel. I'm hoping that we get some kind of oversized omnibus of all this, because that stuff would be awesome to collect. There's a lot of talent. And just in case you're now joining in, it's the Silver Surfer omnibus that is getting a reprint, just in case.
Oh, Thanos.
You mean Thanos?
Oh, is that how you say that?
I don't know how to say it. Tini Howard, Ariel Olivetti. Now, Tini Howard is writing one of the X-Men titles, so I want to read there's a Conan book that she wrote recently, The Bellet, I think is what it is, and I want to read that to kind of get an idea of what her writing style was like. And I don't know if it's a he or a she. I just assume because of the name, and I apologize, Teeny or Tiny, if you're a man. Sorry. But I do like Olivetti's artwork. He's a very CG video game look to his art. Black Cat Volume 1 is getting released on January of 2020 with that Jeffrey Scott Campbell cover that I'm sure Jess owns.
I'll get it just for the cover.
That's what I thought. Jason Aaron, Al Ewing. Still no sign of an omnibus, but, like I've mentioned several times on the show, we have a Thor, the Love and Blood, what is it, Love and Thunder movie coming out in 2021. So, honestly, the way that I see it being released is they'll release the Jason Aaron Thor, God of Thunder Volume 1 in 2020, and then the Mighty Thor with Jane Foster in 2021. That, logically is what I would do, but I don't know. I'm just the guy that reads comics. That's it. Valkyrie, Jane Foster, Volume 1. Have you read any of this stuff? Did you read? Did you read War of the Realms?
I have not.
Yeah,
I'm not sure what to get yet.
I'll hook you up with a list. I'll tell you what to get. There's a channel called Near Mint Condition. They've been previewing some of those books. I don't know if you watch it or not. God, go to hell. Amazing Spider-Man by Nick Spencer, Volume 6. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this is after the Hunted stuff. Oh, the Red Goblin, Red Death #1. Nick Spencer's run has been hit and miss for me. Like, I love a lot of the things that he's doing, and then some of the stuff I'm like, it's drawn out too long, but that's just me. Saladin Ahmed, he is currently writing Miles Morales, and this is Miles Morales Volume 2, Bring on the Bad Guys. Like that cover. Kelly Thompson, this is the new Captain Marvel book. I think Maddie's going to review that first volume, and Volume 2 is being solicited for January. Oh my goodness, I love that.
Well, that's a good cover.
Yeah. I wish the guy was fast enough to do internal artwork, but I love his covers. Sensational Spider-Man, Self-Improvement. This is Legends of Marvel. Oh, these are one-shots, collection of one-shots. What's up, Drummond Art? Oh, I forgot to give a shout-out at the very beginning. Somebody asked me to give a shout-out. Who was that? Robert? Was it Robert? Sorry about that. I suck. Loki trade paperback. Collecting Loki 1 through 5. This is the new series.
Whoa.
War of the Realms Omega. Acts of Evil trade paperback.
You got a big super chat.
Oh, thank you so much. I'll get to it. I can't see anything right now other than what I'm seeing. But thank you so much for the super chat, whoever that was. I'll get to it.
Gusta FB.
Gusta FB, thank you so much. It's never asked for and never necessary, but always appreciated. Invisible Woman. This is the Mark Waid stuff.
Look at that, in Adam Hughes cover.
I knew you would be. I knew you would be all over that. Look at even tell us she's got abs, man.
Nice. I'll get that just for the cover. It's Adam
Uh,
Hughes.
I love you. Contagion. This is the book that's been kind of hush hush. I haven't heard many people talk about it, but I love Ed Brisson, so I kind of want to read it. I haven't read it, so I'll probably pick up the trade. It's got the Thing versus a bunch of infected mole people. So how can you not say no to that? And Punisher Kill Crew. This is the aftermath of War of the Realms. It's Gary Duggan and Juan Ferreira. All right. And Al Ewing. They just announced a new Al Ewing series today. And it's Doctor Strange, Volume 4. So, oh no, okay. I was going to say Mark Waid, Teenie Howard, Pornsack Pichette Show. I reviewed Infidel, and you read Infidel, didn't you?
I did. Yeah, it was
That
awesome.
stuff was awesome. So I can't wait to read his Doctor Strange stuff. Crazy. I don't know if anybody remembers this, but it's got Obnoxio the Clown. And if anybody remembers the X-Men, they left out Obnoxio the Clown versus the X-Men in one of the books. So on the cover, he killed Kitty Pryde, man. How can you do that? But anyway, this is the trade paperback. It's the Collecting Crazy from 2019. Okay, and then material from his old magazine and Obnoxio the Clown, #1. And here we go to Star Wars, Journey to Star Wars, Rise of the Skywalkers. So this is Allegiance trade paperback, Age of Rebellion. It should be a hardcover. Yeah, okay. So Age of Rebellion hardcover coming out. And this one is OHC. It's oversized. To those wondering if they had discontinued the OHCs of those. So apparently they're still continuing some.
Wait, can you scroll back to that first Star Wars thing? Okay.
This one here?
No, okay. I thought, no, that's fine. Go ahead. Excuse me. I thought it showed Han Solo. I was worried it showed Anakin.
Anakin. You know he becomes Darth Vader, right? I don't know if anybody, if you spoilers.
I'm aware, but I was afraid Anakin was going to somehow show up, and Hayden Christensen was going to somehow show up in this.
Don't lie, you had a huge man crush on that guy.
Oh, please.
Or was Jar Jar more up your alley?
That is a nightmare upon which I will never wake up from.
All right, I don't know what this is, but I love this freaking cover. This is Star Wars Target Vader. Robbie Thompson. I like Robbie Thompson. Nick Klein. Okay. Stefano Landini. Lots of Star Wars Legends. It's Forever Crimson. That's the Walter Simonson stuff. Oh, thank God.
Ooh, yay.
I was worried that this was going to get canceled, but I'm glad that they decided to keep going with it. If you have not read Agents of Atlas, that is one of the most hidden gems at Marvel. It is a wonderful series by Jeff Parker, and this collects the rest of the stuff that you need. So you only need 2 complete collections. Let me look here.
That is a wonderful series.
Yeah, very underrated. Another, I don't know if it's underrated anymore. I think a lot of people know about Ecstatics now. And Ecstatics, the Complete Collection, Volume 1. So not an omnibus, but it's the complete collection. And we know that he is coming back. The same team is coming back, Mike Aldred and Peter Milligan, to finish out or to do another 5-issue story, I think. But it's the first, let's see. Oh, the first 5 issues of Ecstatics, the last issues of X-Force before it became Ecstatics. So it's 116 through 129. Brotherhood #9 and Ecstatics 1 through 5. 504 pages for $39.99. That is an epic, non-epic book is what I like to call those. Just like these. They don't have the epic symbol on them, but they're as thick as an epic. Same thing with the Sam Wilson Complete Collection, Volume 1. And here is something that will make Gabe happy. This is Onslaught trade paperback. Collecting a huge chunk of the X-Men on. Does it collect on? Okay, so it does collect on. This is pretty much what you need, and that's it. This is pretty much the gist of what Onslaught is. It doesn't collect things like the Punisher or anything like that. But you
is
really
Onslaught out of print?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. And then here's a reprint of an Epic collection that we kind of knew might be happening. This is direct market only again, like most of the reprints that they're doing for Epic collections. But it's New Mutants, the Demon Bear Saga. This went out quick, and they're bringing it back into print, so nobody worried. Don't worry about trying to find it. It's there. And then we finally get the cover to Maximum Carnage. And here it is. It's not a oversized hardcover. The stuff is in Spider-Man versus Venom, if you own that Omnibus. But this is the stuff that it's the crossover event with Carnage.
The chat is at some new people are asking in the chat what the big reprint is.
Oh, it's the Silver Surfer Omnibus, the Silver Age Omnibus, Silver Surfer, and both covers are being reprinted. If you're just now joining the chat, and I agree with Joe Cool. I just went in the chat for a second. New Mutants should get an omnibus, so I hope so. One day, right? Maybe when that movie finally comes out. Conan Chronicles Epic Collection, again continuing in chronological order, which is what they don't do in Epic, so I'm glad they're doing it with Conan. This is the stuff that was originally printed by Dark Horse. This is Conan the Cimmerian. It collects issues 8 through 25 of Conan the Cimmerian. By now, Tim and Ben Truman are writing it. Yeah. And this one actually has a Joe Kubert issue. Look, they even put him in the front. Yeah. I think that's one of the last things he drew before he passed away. Conan, the Hour of the Dragon.
Giant size.
Giant size Conan. 1 through 4, Sword of Conan 8, the E story, and 10, and Conan Annuals 4 through 5. Huh. It's a trade presenting Marvel's epic adaptation. It's not an epic, though. But it's got some hella artwork by Gil Kane and John Buscema. So, Savage Sword of Conan. This is the ongoing series. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, so Jerry Duggan only did the first 5 issues? Because it looks like Jim Zub, Roy Thomas, Meredith Finch did these. But it's got artwork by Luke Ross and Patrick Searcher and Alan Davis. I like all those guys, and I love Marco Cicchetto. Sorry. Black Widow, Welcome to the Game, trade paperback. This collects 2 series, the Black Widow miniseries from 2004 and the Black Widow, The Things They Say About Her 1 through 6, both written by Richard Morgan. Black Widow poster book, the Marvelverse Black Panther. And I want to say this is the GN stuff, the graphic novels, the small books, the smaller books geared towards kids. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. My daughter reviewed the first one, and Oz, the complete collection. And that, as they say, is that. Now let me get out of here. And actually, let me scroll up. In case you missed it, here is the omnibus that was solicited for a reprint. Silver Surfer, Omnibus Volume 1. Both covers are getting reprinted. You still with me, Jess?
Right here, buddy.
All right. And we are back. Okay. Let's see. Right off the bat, I see somebody correcting me on my spelling. Omar, it is pronounced Ketchketo. Ketchketo. Got it. Thank you so much. Italian last name. Epics. Yeah, there were a couple. The Conan epic and the Maximum Carnage epic. And they're reprinting the Demon Bear Saga. Let's see. I got to go back to that super chat from, who was it, Jess? You said it. Gustav? You said it was Gustav.
Gustav FB. Gustav B.
Gustav B. Okay, I'll try to find it. In the meantime, you have any questions, please leave them in the chat right now. And now that we know all the reprints that are coming out, because I had done a previous list of the reprints that were coming out the first quarter of 2020, now the question begins as to what's next. I know of 3 books that they're working on. They're new books. I don't know of any reprints, though. I know of 3 new books they're working on, and as soon as they let me know that I can say something, I'll be able to tell you all what they are. I'm very excited for all 3 of them. And here it is. Hey, new to the channel, basically my #1 source for upcoming releases now. Thank you so much, Gustav FB. Thank you so much. That was very kind. And yeah, so we don't know what else I don't know what else I'm sure they know. I don't know what else they're reprinting. I know, like I said, of 3 new books that they're working on currently, and as soon as I'm able to tell you all what they are, I'll be happy to announce it. So the next month is going to be fun because Marvel also, like I've already told you all, when the solicitations come out, like even the advanced solicitations that I get, they like to sneak in some things. Like they snuck in that Silver Surfer. When Jess and I looked at the first quarter of 2020, that Silver Surfer omnibus was not in there. So that's awesome. Along with She-Hulk. She-Hulk wasn't in there either, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
Omar, how bad is that Dark Phoenix Saga omnibus? The story itself is one of the greatest X-Men stories. The omnibus, I already have. If you just want, it's not for me. I'm a completist when it comes to X-Men, but that I already have the Uncanny X-Men Volume 1 and Uncanny X-Men Volume 2 omnibus. So if you have those, you really don't need that book. If you've never read it, there's also a X-Men Milestone that you can get in a cheaper format. I think it's only $19.99 or $24.99 for the whole Dark Phoenix story. But if you like oversized artwork and don't have those books and want to read the Dark Phoenix Saga, then I guess that's for you. I know a few years ago they released a oh gosh, no, not a few. Everything seems like a few years ago, but it's been over 10 years. Was the Dark Phoenix hardcover. Before they had an Uncanny X-Men Omnibus Volume 2, they had a Dark Phoenix oversized hardcover.
T2 Fallen, the reason my channel exists is to warn you not to read Batman Odyssey. You're not supposed to go ahead and read it when I tell you not to read it. Of course it's awful. Jess was right about how bad it is. Yeah, that's why you watch my channel, so I can warn you not to read it.
Reprint Captain America Brubaker, please. It's okay. So that is really interesting to see, like all these different messages that I get about what people want reprinted. And it varies. Like a lot of people want Uncanny X-Men reprinted. A lot of people want the Silver Age X-Men or the Silver Age Thor reprinted. Because there's, like I've gone through a list. Jess has gone through a list on his channel too, like of books that are out of print. So Marvel is aware. It's just they decide to choose on what originally sold, how well it sold, and then what a hot commodity I guess might be. I mean, there's a lot of factors that go into it too, like what they have to release. Like if they ever do a Mighty Thor, or I'll just use Uncanny X-Men as an example. If they ever do an Uncanny X-Men Volume 4, God bless. We know it's coming, but it's just I don't know when. They'll have to go back. That is the best time for them to start reprinting those books, Uncanny X-Men 1, 2, and 3. I will say that is the best time to purchase them too if you're looking for reprints. It's when a new book is being resolicited.
I am not Omar's assistant.
I wish I could super chat that. So it always stays on top. All right, let's see. Sorry to bring this up again, but can you show the Obnoxio book and confirm that if they axed the X-Men one-shot you were talking about? Let me look at that really quick, because I didn't see it in there, but this might be a different collection. I think this is the collection from the new Crazy run. So what it contains is Crazy #1 from 2019, Obnoxio the Clown #1, and then material from Crazy Magazine 920, a bunch of Crazy magazines, and plus the Marvel Meow variants. So it doesn't, but it says here, witness Obnoxio's unsettling origin and cringe as he takes on the X-Men. So I guess it's included in here because in the description it says he takes on the X-Men. It's 248 pages. So yeah, I'm sure it's in there.
There was a question here about War of Kings, excuse me, and Daredevil.
Do you know where that is?
Just a sec. Excuse me.
Oh, I see it.
Okay.
It's from Durley, Uncanny Durley. Hey, Jess and Omar, do you recommend War of Kings or Daredevil by Frank Miller as far as a storyline? Oh, Daredevil.
Daredevil.
I love War of the Kings, but...
And I hated War of Kings.
Yeah, just get off my channel. That was awesome. How could you? Oh, you know what? We're gonna turn this into a shit show when you bring that up. No, War of the Kings is great. Don't listen to him.
It broke me. I stopped reading the whole thing because of it. Read Daredevil instead by Frank Miller.
Can't argue with that. I like Daredevil by Frank Miller. It sets the bar up high for what comic book, what a great comic book superhero book is should be. But War of the Kings is awesome, man. You should have finished it all the way to the Thanos Imperative, man. All right, you're off the show. I'm booting you off the show. Why did I ask you to join me? All right, ETL, the official handbook of the Marvel Universe, is the next must-buy Marvel Omni. I'm all over that. I'm a big fan. Do you know what those are?
I don't.
The official handbook of the Marvel Universe were these little like cards that they would sell, and it would show the front of a character, his back, and his sides or her sides, and then give you like a synopsis of what the character is like. Some of these writers could have used that. Like, oh, that's what the character of Moon Knight is like. Okay. It was before Wikipedia came out. That was the way you were to find out about a character. Like, hey, who's this Darkhawk guy I keep hearing about? Better start looking for a new assistant, Omar. I'm already on the hunt.
It was supposed to be Maddie, and I'm sure you guys would have liked that even better.
Yeah, she's at work today, though. Or I am too, but I'm taking a lunch break doing this. It's rumored Omar actually likes Darkhawk too. It is not a rumor. It is actual fact. I'm making a Darkhawk omnibus happen. Darkhawk is awesome. We're all my 90s kids. I know y'all like Darkhawk.
Darkhawk broke me in War of Kings. All he does is complain and have hissy fits, and then joins some Talon group and botches it all up, and then goes back to Earth and has more hissy fits.
Hi from work and bye from work. Jesse, say what? Happy belated birthday to you, Jesse, if you're still there. All right, here's something fun. Sometimes I just read bad books for fun. I would rather read a bad book instead of a boring book. That's a good point. I think it's all subjective, right? Like, I think there are a certain amount of books that people enjoy that some people consider trash. And other way around, there are books that some people consider trash that I highly enjoy myself. I didn't see an issue with. Like 95% of the books that Jess reads are complete trash, but they're
listen to who's talking. Captain Smart Comics. Give me a break.
There it is.
All you have to do is watch Old Reader, New Reader to see what he considers good comics.
Dude,
he forces Maddie to read the worst comics.
I don't hold her at gunpoint. She has choices. Omar, what would you recommend for reprint announcement disappointment? I can't keep drinking at work. I don't know. The Muppet Babies Omnibus getting reprinted? That would, I'm sure, set off a lot of people. Wait, I don't even know if that book's still in print. It might be out of print. Did you ever read The Muppets?
I love The Muppet Show, but I have not read The Muppets Omnibus. I'm pretty sure I actually own it.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure it's sealed somewhere.
It is.
I've read it, and I don't own it, and I need to get it because I actually really enjoy it. Like, it is freaking awesome. It's a lot different than the show. And you should read it. I think you would like it too. Now, here's a smart man. I've got your back on Darkhawk. Love New Warriors. That's right. New Warriors for life. Let's make that New Warriors Omnibus 2 happen, where Darkhawk joins the team. The assistant needs a new Omar that doesn't like Darkhawk. Is the Daredevil Wade Omnibus out of print? Nope, it's still in print. As a matter of fact, you can get both from our sponsor. They're both 50% off until Sunday. And if you haven't read them, they are the most different take on Daredevil in a long time, but they're really, really good. All right, here's a good question. Let's make this personal. Jess, if you could change one thing about Omar, what would it be? Don't you say my
books.
I thought you were going to go with race.
Race? What are you talking about? Race? Yeah, I wish you were white. No, I'm not
There it
gonna.
is. I'm going to quote you on that. Save that
No, you
sound
will
clip.
not. I was saying your taste in books.
What, dude? I have great taste in comics.
I
Just
know.
it's all subjective. Just it's 'cause you don't like it. Look, as a matter of fact, an old reader, new reader tonight, we're doing Emerald Twilight, The Fall of Hal Jordan. I know you've read that.
I have. That's a great book.
I'm just now getting in the Omni. So when you see a reprint for, say, Silver Surfer, do you recommend me getting it right away, even though I don't care for it right now? Will it be out of print again? That is a good question. I will say some of these books, when they're reprinted, and I keep going back to Uncanny X-Men, which is not fair, because Uncanny X-Men is on its fourth printing, and I want to say that it's almost out of print or out of print right now. So,
But if you don't like it, I don't know that I'd say you should get it. If you don't like it, why get it if you don't like it?
but she's asking if she doesn't care for it right now. I'm sorry, I should have left the question up there. But that could change, right? Later on, they're into Silver Surfer.
It's
Never
a classic book.
Yeah, I always suggest never buy anything for the fear of it running out of print, because that's just not a good
Right.
not a good
It'll
way to
just
live
sit
your
on your
life.
shelf.
Yeah, like look at Jess's shelf. Like let's use that as an example of all the sealed books he has.
I'm getting to him. I'm getting to him.
By the time some of those books have had 3 or 4 reprints, and he still has the original one sealed.
What's your point?
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing. I'm just making conversation.
Thank you.
Just wanted to say thanks to both Omar and Jess for helping me get into the whole collected editions thing. Thank you, Carl. Thank you.
Nice.
I'm glad we could help. Okay, I'm getting these omnibuses except for Namor's. Also, what? Oh, the Golden Age Submariner stuff. Also getting the Star Wars classics. This was an expensive afternoon. Oh, Joe, I'm sorry. Omar, what would you recommend to read as a follow-up to the Mutant Massacre? I'm almost finished the Omni, and it has blown me away so far. Yes! You're a man of good taste, Eric. So the next hardcover after that collects everything from that is so it goes Mutant Massacre, Fall of the Mutants, Inferno. But Fall of the Mutants sadly is out of print, so is Inferno. However, there's X-Men Milestones that are coming out, the trade paperback editions, and you can get them out. You can get them that way. But Fall of the Mutants, which is probably my favorite X-Men story. All right, here's a reply back. Yes, they will be, but that will take some time. And I think it's one of those main goals here to tell people don't buy out of FOMO, fear of missing out, in case you don't know what that is. Buy what you want and not what could go out of print soon.
Agree.
It's a good way to live your life. Yeah, I saw that the Muppet Show got canceled by Disney Plus, too, due to the difference of creative opinions between like Disney and the creators behind it. I love this idea. I'm pretty sure I own it. Now that's a book cover blurb. I would love to see that on a Muppets reprint. I'm pretty sure I own that book.
I think it's in the back, the annex. I think I ran across it the other day.
Yeah, once a year, Maddie gets to pick the book on her birthday. Omar Tiff, defining not pushing lousy comics. Guys, the idea behind old reader, new reader is that I go back and reread something and she reads it for the first time. Not, hey, let's read a bunch of new comics. I'm sorry you all aren't into Roy Thomas's amazing Avengers run. Or what was the last book that she hated? Secret Wars, which I don't blame her. Secret Wars wasn't that.
Oh.
The original Secret Wars. Let's see. Yep. Next one should be Fall of the Mutants. I suggested that. Pre-Peter David, Hulk needs more love. Well, we're finally getting a Peter David Hulk omnibus for the first time. So that baby steps, right? I'm sure, depending on the sales of that, Hopefully we'll get more and more. Oh my God, I would love to own all of Peter David's Hulk Omnibus on my shelf, just as much as I would love to own all of Peter David's X Factor on my shelf. But also Bill Mantlow's Hulk would be awesome. Omar is triggering everyone tonight in old reader, new reader due to continue canceling. Yes, Kyle, based on collections. Yes, volume 3 was canceled because of people like Jess that don't like smart comics.
I didn't have anything to do with that.
Did you buy volume 1 and 2?
No.
Then you had every damn bit to do with that. Is next week's Complete Infinity Wars by Duggan a complete event? Yes and no. It is. If you have his the Duggan Guardians of the Galaxy, that is literally the direct follow-up to it. It finishes out his run. And it has a few of the it's got a few of the miniseries, but it doesn't have all of them. But I think it has the important ones. Do you think Silver Surfer by Slaughton Al Red will get a reprint? Love both of your channels and Omnibus. Thank you, Metal Pig. Yeah, absolutely. It's a great story. It needs to be in print. It's a wonderful still. I think both Jess and I have reviewed it and made us cry.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see why not. Like I said, I, with a few exceptions, I see everything getting reprinted eventually. But they also have a huge list of books that they can reprint. So it really depends on what Marvel wants to do. As far, they can't reprint 35 books a month. That would be insane for them and for us, right? Unless you got money, then good for you. Maybe. Right now, I want to remind everybody to hit that like button, please. Buy books you want to read. Don't buy books you won't read. That should be a t-shirt. Hi, Omar and Jess finally caught the live show with the DC Vertigo Black Label thing. Do you think they'll re-release unfinished Vertigo titles like American Vampire Omni Volume 1? Well, Snyder needs to finish American Vampire so they can do a Volume 2 omnibus. They have enough material for a Volume 2, but he hasn't wrapped up the story yet. What do you think, Jess?
I agree with what you just said. He needs to wrap up the story.
And I think it might be under the new Black Label printing, probably. Which is just a stamp. As long as on the inside's the same, that's all that matters. Just order the Marvel Horror Omnibus. So psyched. It is so good. Like, between that book and the Masters of Suspense, the Steve Ditko, Stan Lee, those to me have been my favorite Omnis, like, surprise Omnis this year. I didn't think I would enjoy them as much as I had. They are so good. Is Uncanny X-Men Volume 3 coming out anytime soon in your estimation? It's the only one I don't have. Thanks, guys. My guess is literally as good as anybody else's. I mean, I could say in the next couple of years, sure. But you got to keep in mind, they got to reprint Volume 2 before they reprint Volume 3. Volume 3 only had one printing, right? Volume 2 has had 2, but it's out of print. So a third Volume 3 or Volume 2 printing and then a second Volume 1 or Volume 3 printing is probably what they'll end up doing. They are also reprinting more often these days than they were 10 years ago, so it's less likely that if you miss out, you won't be able to get it. That's right, they are. They are. I've said it many times that 2020 seems to be the year of reprints, because they seem to know what's really out there, what's wanted, like that. I think that's what happens in a lot of these cases. People really, the people behind making the books, they don't know how much people are paying for these things, which is insane on some accounts. What are some good comic book history books? There you go, Jess. Here's a question for you. You're our local comic book historian.
Somebody listed a good Marvel one. I don't. Right below that, I don't have a good DC history one. Mostly because I actually don't care.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry.
I read Sean Howe's Marvel: The Untold Story. That got me really interested in the Golden Age. So that's a good book. Who suggested that to me? Was it Curtis? Somebody suggested that to me a long time ago, and I ended up reading it. It's a good read. The only really, as far as history, I'm like Jess. I really like the stuff that I've read about, where I've read in magazine articles, and you know, I don't know. I don't even want to know what you just read, but I will say the one book I always suggest to tell people to read is Understanding Comics, Scott
Matthew,
McCloud.
Matthew's comment is hilarious. It's towards the bottom.
Wait, let me find it. Omar doesn't have X-Men Volume 3. Fake fan. I'm going to watch the Assistant's rival channel as a dog puppet thing. I do have Uncanny Volume 3. Will
That's
Marvel
a dog
reprint
puppet
my...
thing.
This is such a sad comment. Will Marvel reprint my dad back to my
Oh,
childhood?
the Clark NATO getting dark.
Yeah, man. They can't perform miracles, dude. All right. Here's some for Ben Riley. We need a Ben Riley Volume 2. Ben Riley Volume 2. All these guys that hated on the Clone Saga now are wanting a Ben Riley Volume 2. I didn't know there was this much love for Ben Riley. Ben Riley Volume 2. All I can say is be patient, guys. I'm sure, we'll probably get one. Kyle Rayner is so 90s. Yeah, so was the real world. A lot of good things happened in the 90s.
The real world.
Superior Spider-Man. That would have been a really good omnibus. I'm surprised they didn't do that, honestly, because they had the 3 hardcovers and those went out of print. So I think he's got a new series. So maybe who knows? Do you think there will ever be a Sandman Mystery Theater omnibus?
I don't know how DC decides anything, so I couldn't even begin to answer that.
I will say this. While since I've talking to Marvel has really helped me understand the behind the scenes of how things work, how things get printed, how things get reprinted. And it's also helped me understand that DC has a monkey and a dartboard.
A drunk monkey.
A drunk monkey and a dartboard, and the dartboard has this much for the shit you want printed, and it's this much for the Golden Age and Silver Age Superman. No, I'm kidding. I'm not hating on the Golden Age Superman, but I really don't understand their logic. I'm going to say this. 2019 DC Collected Editions department, no way in hell they want to print Sandman Mystery Theater Omnibus. Maybe in the future when they get their, I think they're looking for new collection edition editors or what. I'm not sure what they're looking for whenever they get the whole band together. Maybe, that would be cool. I would be all over that. Jess and Omar, when asked whether to buy unfamiliar omnis, ask if the person is a reader or collector. If a reader, only buy what you like. If a collector, buy everything. Larry, thank you very much. That's a good answer. Bring on Jason Aaron, Thor, Omni, or 2. I'm sure we'll get those. It's Jason Aaron. I was planning on getting the Superior Spider-Man complete collections earlier in the year, and now Volume 2 is super out of print. Yeah, even the trade. That's the thing about Omnis.
Wow.
Like, seriously, even trades go out of print. It's not just epic collections. It's not just omnibuses. It's also some trades are out of print.
Are all 3 OHCs out of print now, too?
Oh, they've been out of print for years, Jess.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, they've been out of print for years. Like, I found out the Fantastic Four complete collection was out of print. The Hickman one, that went out of print. Volume 1 went out of print or something. But I think Cheap Graphic Novel still has some in stock. So there's a plug for that again. DC is run on fears and tears of its fans caused by its random cancellation.
That's about right.
Oh my goodness. They break, like, seriously, it's a weird roller coaster of, like, I get a solicitation from Marvel. I'm like, yes, oh hell yes, I want this run. Like, especially a couple of the books that they're working on now, I'm excited for because they were one of them is definitely part of my childhood. And then in DC, I read Aquaman by Peter David Volume 3 is canceled. Then I read Kyle Rayner Volume 3 is canceled. Like, all the good shit that I like, gone. So I figured, like, man, maybe it's me. Maybe I don't buy anymore and they'll continue. And that's what happens, right? Like, I have this fear. Like, what do you do as a fan? Like, DC is notorious for canceling things. So do you jump in and buy Volume 1 and Kyle Rayner in Volume 2? Or do you wait to see if there's 4 or 5 of those collections and then go, holy shit, they might actually finish this run out, and then jump in? Because if you're not buying a Volume 1, then you're not helping with the sales. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. It's like, what do? Do you wait long enough for the collections to get like to 8 volumes, and you're like, okay, it's a sure bet that they're going to finish out this, I don't know, Chuck Dixon Nightwing run or whatever it is that you're into? Or do you go ahead and jump from the beginning to support it to make sure that it doesn't? Tell cheap graphic novels to fix their search category for manga. It's 404s. I will tell. I don't know if they sell manga. Okay, but I'll ask. Let's see. Making an omnibus kills sales of collected OHCs and trade paperbacks, right? So they won't do for books that sell well. I don't know. I really don't think. I think there's separate I know for a fact that there's separate collectors for that only get like epic collections, right? They won't get omnis. And I also know that there are people out there that only get omnibuses. And I know that there are people that only get trade paperbacks because they're a lot easier to read. So, it's a different market. I just collect everything because I like things in reading orders, like in chronological reading orders. So the Conan reprints, lots of the Dark Horse stuff is out of print. Yeah, the Conan stuff that they're doing, the Epic Collection stuff, and they're going in chronological order. They're doing the Dark Horse stuff. So Conan, what is the Sumerian, and I think the next one is Road to something, and then King Conan. Do I think there's enough material for an Immortal Hulk omnibus? Not yet, but they're doing a hardcover, so I'm going to pick that up. Have you read that, Jess?
I read the first trade and I loved it, so I stopped reading it so I can pick up the OHC.
Yeah, that OHC I think comes out October. I'm excited for that one.
Yeah, me too.
I only read Papyrus Scrolls. Jess, is this your brother?
My uncle.
Your uncle. Wow. All right. Do you guys know the Comic Pop crew? Would be cool to see a collab. I don't know them. Jess, do you know them?
Never heard of them.
Never heard of them. Okay, I actually have heard of them, and I've seen a few of their stuff. They're pretty cool.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah, they're really nice guys. Well, one of the guys is really knowledgeable. He's a lot like me, really knowledgeable. I couldn't help myself.
He's a jerk?
He's a funny guy. The Starman Omnibus can't. Why would you do that? Don't you jinx that.
It's gonna be printed. I'm gonna go on record as saying it's gonna be printed. Distributed.
I'm gonna go on record and say maybe it'll be printed. I like to give the benefit of the doubt and say that it will actually come out. What will break my heart is if they release Volume 1 and never solicit a Volume 2.
Oh my gosh, that would kill me.
Like, why? There it is. I'm surprised there's enough room in there for Omar's head. Thank you, Infinity Nexus Reviews. Omar, more 90s X-Men OHCs. When? Well, we're getting the 12, right? So that's huge. That's a big one. And then what do we need after the 12? The Magneto War, right? And then the Hunt for Professor X stuff. There's some stuff that can fit between Onslaught and Operation Zero Tolerance, and then Trial of Gambit, things like that. Oh my God, Hulk is the only book I can't wait for. It's my favorite one yet. It's so good. It keeps getting better. Caught up with all the singles, waiting on the last ones, 22 and 23, so I can catch up. See, that's the way I feel about X-Men right now. House of X and Powers of X. Like that. To me, I'm excited to read X-Men again. And here's a plug. Don't forget to tune into the show tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I'll be talking about House of X4 and Powers of 10-4, and giving away some more variants.
Ralph Maurice, do you still collect colored vinyl records? I miss your vinyl haul pickups. Yeah, I've done a ton of vinyl recently. I'd be happy to do a vinyl record pickup haul thingy. Sure. Thanks for the shout out. I absolutely will do one. Thank you.
By the way, I like your vagabond picture that you have there, Ralph. Very nice. Yeah, Jess, that's one thing I can't dive into. I cannot get freaking vinyls because I have a collector's mentality. And
Yeah, I know. It's a
well,
dark hole.
it is because they have video games now, right? Like I was looking, I'm like, oh, I got to get Castlevania. Oh,
Yeah.
wait, Symphony of the Night and Castlevania Classic 1 and 2? Cool. Oh, but I also like Mega Man. Ooh, they have Mega Man Collection 1 through 4. I'll get that. But wait, then I need 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then you want 11. And if I'm going to go with Capcom, I got to get the rest. Dude, and that's the rabbit hole, right? And before I know it, I'm like, here's my monthly comic book haul. It's nothing but fucking vinyl records. Because that's me, and I can't do that. I don't know anybody in the vinyl industry. Astonishing X-Men Volume 2 and Moon Knight Omni, or Omar's head will become the Watcher. Why doesn't Dark Horse print all volumes of the EC archives? For example, they've only printed 1, 2, 4, 5, and no Volume 3. Is Volume 3 out of print? Oh, wait. Of which book? And so there's several books. So really quick, if you're not familiar with the EC archive line from Dark Horse, they were originally published by Gemstone Publishing. So the way that they did it, like for example, like you're doing right there, they did it. If it was like, for example, I want to say, let's use Vault of Horror. Vault of Horror, they've done volumes 3, 4, and 5 because 1 and 2 were published by Gemstone, and then they're going back to do their own volume 1 and volume 2. It's just they only do like 1 or 2 a month. So keep that in mind. And if you're just now joining the show and you missed earlier, Silver Surfer, the Silver Age edition is coming back into print. Omnibus with 2 covers. I also feel the same with X-Men, but I haven't picked up any and read yet because I stay away from most singles. But Hulk and Ross covers are already in so deep. I stuck with it. But man, the praise for X-Men is real. It's so good. So good. So X-Force got 3 Omnis. Any chance for X-Force 4 Onslaught? You know you want it, Omar. You know damn well I would buy it too because it's X-Men. Of course I'd buy it. And then that stuff by Adam Polina. Oh, I'll be all over that. Is there a comprehensive Batman reading order coming anytime soon? Yeah. So what I do with those is I put the
He
poll up.
asks me.
I do not. I do not do that. That would be the opposite of smart. What I do with those is I put the polls up. Like I do a poll of what my next comprehensive reading order should be for our Patreons to vote on. That way I don't have to choose. But Batman for real is going to take me like 5 times the amount of work that I'm putting into Green Lantern. Because and I'm only going to stick to Batman and Detective because there's just so much. And a lot of people are like, they like it because, like I'll just use this for example because I have it right here. But, you have a volume 1 right there. Unlike Epic Collections, which came out about 5 to 6 years ago, trade paperbacks just had a name, so you didn't know where to read it. Right? When do I read this? When does Green Lantern take place as opposed to Emerald Dawn? So that's why I wish there were videos like that when I was first starting to collect them, the trade paperbacks and collected editions. My battery is probably going to die soon, but I have really enjoyed getting to know Omar's assistant. Look at the praise for my lovely assistant, my Vanna White. Have you read Brian K. Vaughan's Barrier? Apparently, it's only releasing a slipcase with a single issue, so I was hoping for a proper HC. I have actually reviewed it on my channel. It is freaking wonderful if you have not read it.
I haven't read it.
Oh, it's so good, dude. It's so good. Like
It's
art-wise.
only single issues?
Yeah, but they come in a nice little slipcase. So it's the size of, do you have the Private Eye?
I do. It's really annoying sticking out of my shelf.
All right, OCD.
Yeah.
So the slipcase is the size of that. So the comic books in there, there's 5 of them, are like widescreen comic books. It is so good, dude.
How do you order it? Can you order it?
You order it from their website.
Okay.
I can't remember what it's called. I'll look it up here and I'll send it to you.
All right, thanks.
And they've already said, yeah, they're not going to do a hardcover. He said he wants to keep it as singles, to keep the experience of singles, and it's Brian K. Vaughan. So,
Okay.
you get what you get with him, and you
Mhm.
don't throw a fit. Sorry, that's what I tell my kids. I'm also loving everything Cates is doing. They have turned Marvel around to a juggernaut right now. Ewing, Cates, and Hickman, the big three. Cates has the Midas touch, all gold. I will say that I really enjoyed his Guardians of the Galaxy, and I heard a rumor that he was only doing 12 issues, but I don't know if that's true or not. So I hope it's not true, because I am ready to read that all in collected editions. Jess, can you review Constifi Wallace Wood?
I'll have to look that up. I haven't heard of that book. I love Wally Wood. I will have to look that up, Rasputin.
He's going to buy it and review it. That's how much your words mean to him. I hope it's out of print and it's an $800 book. BKV doesn't like HCs, yet Saga has 3. Yeah, he likes money. He likes money, though. I'm sure. Right. But for some reason with Barrier, he just wanted... Oh, no, because it's one of those... it was a digital comic that you pay what you want to get, right? And then they released them in print with those comics. So that's why he didn't want to do an OHC, just like Private Eye was.
Ooh, erotic art of Wallace Wood.
All right.
Okay.
Well, you had Jess at erotic.
You certainly did.
Do you?
I'm going online now.
The sad part is he is. Do you think that there will be a reprint of The Darkness? I would like an OHC or Omni of it. I don't know. Those compendiums they weren't made really well.
No.
They fell apart, especially if the softcover ones with that many issues. So if they do reprint them, I don't know. Image seems to like these softcover compendiums that are the size of Omnis. I don't particularly like them, but I like an Omnibus to be, hardcover and massive. I'd really like all of the new universe stuff collected. I need my Mark Grunwald fix. I would like Mark Grunwald's Captain America collected and Quasar. I would be all over that. Speaking of these out of prints, I'm going to take a poll on our. If you haven't joined our Near Mint Condition channel or we have a Facebook group, Twitter, and Instagram. It's Near Mint Con. I'll be posting a question there, like, what's your most wanted Marvel Omnibus reprint? Because I'm curious to see what people want. Because I get like messages every week just about like, hey, when do you think this will come out? And my answer is always the same. I don't know, guys. Like, as soon as I know and as soon as I'm able to say something, I'll be happy to tell you all. But I'm curious as to know what people want reprinted. Now that we know the first quarter is full of these reprints, what else they want reprinted? I know Jess's answer. What would yours be, Jess? Let me guess.
What are we talking about?
Oh my God, you are the worst co-host.
I was reading the comments.
Oh no,
like you told me to.
You're doing a good job.
What would be my choice of Omnis to be reprinted?
If you had one choice, what would it be?
Fantastic Four by Hickman.
That's what I thought. So yeah. I get that a lot. I get like Thor a lot, the Silver Age Thor,
No.
X-Men by Claremont and Lee, which would be phenomenal, honestly. But I'm curious to see what most people would say. So if you haven't joined our Facebook group, that's where I'll do it. Join our Facebook group at Near Mint Con. Deadpool and Cable Omnibus. Give this man a gold star. Deadpool and Cable Omnibus is an amazing omnibus, by the way. Oh, there's 2 votes for. I'm so proud of you guys. I love my viewers.
Yeah. Jess, what are your most beloved books with bad girl art in it? That would be Naughty and Nice by Bruce Timm.
I can't do a show without you going and hijacking it into a TNA show, can I?
Well, you weren't picking the question, so I had to crowbar it in.
I didn't see it.
There's also a question about whether or not we'd recommend Monstrous. I know the answer from both of us.
Absolutely.
Totally.
Oh my God. She did. I assume it's a she, the lady that drew it. She did the artwork on the covers of the Conan book. And oh my God, I wish she had done the internal stuff because her stuff is just majestic. It's magical. Oh, it's so good.
The story is fantastic, and the art is extra fantastic.
Infinity Gauntlet and Eternals. Guys, I said one. You guys are slipping two in there. It's like my kids. I'm like, which one do you want? I want both. Well, you can't have both Pokemon Sword and Shield. You got to pick one. Was the Monsters binding bad? I've only read the first 4 issues in there. I didn't notice anything.
I didn't notice that it was bad.
Thank you, Freddie Alonso. I'm so glad you're in the chat. Sana Takeda. Beautiful artwork. I want to say, wasn't she also the one that did a lot of the Miss Marvel stuff with Brian Reed?
I did not read that run.
Okay. It was an okay run, but I want to say that was her that did it.
She can draw.
Gorgeous artwork, man. Just very magical feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, Jess, let's end it there. Again, I'll put that question up on our Facebook group sometime. So, Jess.
Yes.
When you're not hanging out with me and being my very awesome assistant, where can you? Oh, here we go. Much love back to you from Sweden, man. All the way from Kentucky and Virginia here in America.
Yeehaw.
Infinity Gauntlet if I had to pick one. Okay, sorry about that. Yes.
You can find me
where can people find you?
OmniDogs Vault on YouTube and OmniDogs_Vault on Instagram.
There you have it. If you like my lovely assistant and his style of humor, that's where you can find him. And for me, I will be back on tonight on Old Reader, New Readers. New Reader, sorry, no longer plural. Sad. With Green Lantern. We're talking about Emerald Twilight only, just 3 issues. And I'll put that question up on our Facebook group. So, love to hear what you all would want reprinted. And don't forget to hit that like, subscribe button if you haven't yet. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for the super chat again. Gustav, FB. Much love to you guys. And remember, if it's classy and cool, it must be near mint. Thank you very much, Jess.
Thank you for having me.
Joining me. This was a lot of fun.